presentation of the National Football League.
Night beginning to fall over Southern California, but the lights are shining bright here at the spectacular SoFi Stadium in metropolitan Los Angeles. And tonight on this fine Thursday night, we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the LA Chargers.
To kick off for the Chargers.
Just about set for a start. Happy to have you with us, and we are underway here on Thursday Night Primetime. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage here by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. At a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
Back on the field after a knee injury robbed him of his rookie season, but he showed a ton of promise in the limited sample size we saw of him during the preseason. Go back to the University of Michigan. You saw an accurate passer who ran the offense extremely well, but don't be fooled by that. He was never afraid to attack defenses with his arm, and he'll try to do the same here in the NFL.
So from the 26-yard line, here's a 2nd and 8. On play action, McCarthy being chased out left. And he gets this one just shy of the 40 to mark him down at the 39. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
First down, Minnesota.
Now a handoff. Running left is Jones. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Looking to throw McCarthy. That one complete to Naylor. Only able to gain a couple there. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. We're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. That's to Naylor once again. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. Back deep for L.A. is Darius Davis. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way to the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020, the man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
And when you see Justin Herbert, all you think about is he's easily one of the most talented quarterbacks in the NFL. He can make every throw, knows how to think his way through every game. And now, the regular season success needs to carry over into the postseason.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Charger football to start quarter number 2. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissling. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Over 30 yards there, and first downs on 3 consecutive plays now.
Well, so often now we're praising tight ends for their nimbleness and how they catch the ball downfield. But occasionally we get a reminder that tight ends, they've got that tough guy aspect too. How about him catching that short one there, shaking off tacklers, and turning that into an expansive gain downfield?
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 26-yard. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Sacked by Andrew Van Ginkel.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Throw left side complete. That's Hampton. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. So the completion good for just 3. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, LA. Keenan Allen. 27 yards. And the Chargers post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. And for the extra point, Cameron Dicker. This is blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a line football. And he takes it the distance across the goal line for 2 points. That is a play that you just do not see very often. Maybe a couple times a year, the blocked extra point return for 2.
You can't afford to give anyone a free run at the kicker. Oftentimes, it's going to bounce off his hands or chest and head the other direction.
And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with a slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
A gain of 13 yards. First down.
To the air with McCarthy. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Here's McCarthy. Steps away to his left. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
And the Vikings first down.
Throwing is McCarthy. Middle of the field to Jefferson. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
2nd down at the 44-yard line.
Now McCarthy. Oh, just a desperation heave there, and it's intercepted. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 on Charger TV. Well, CD, I think they were in nickel that time, which we see so often in today's NFL, and there it helped them net their first pick 6 of the contest.
Nice eyes, good observation there, partner. You nailed it. This is a defense that likes to mix up and disguise coverages, but it did end up being one of their main packages, the nickel, that fooled them that time. And they made the most of the miscue with a nice return.
Dicker down to tack on the extra point. And he atones for his miss the first time around as this one is up and good to extend their lead.
Chargers 13, Vikings
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Vikings first down.
From the shotgun, McCarthy. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Under pressure, and they got to him again.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave.
The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
And it's 4th down.
So halftime is upon us on Thursday night primetime, and we go off to Orlando. And Scott Hanson for our halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Scott Hanson and our great crew here in the Orlando studios set for an abridged version of the halftime report. This game, to this point, a little slow to begin with, but in the second quarter, the offenses started finding their way. We hope we're set for a great second half, so let's get back out to the stadium and rejoin our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Scott, thank you very much. We are ready to get started here with the second half. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They'll start on the ground with Harris. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's Herbert. The short throw to Conklin, the tight end. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Well, it's too early to figure out what kind of adjustments this defense made at halftime, but that's a good start to the second half. They cannot afford to give up more points and fall further behind, so well done to force the punting situation here.
And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. Boy, sitting on a 2-score lead at this stage in the game, that punter, he must be pretty lonely over there on the sideline thinking, why in the world was my number not called there?
As far as he's concerned, the check will still cash, right? It's your choice not to use me in this situation. But I also look at it this way. You know, some coaches are more aggressive than others. They just want to take care of the football, have the ball on offense, and go at it that way. So a very interesting call, but he wants to take care of the ball himself.
They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. And the slot man goes in motion left. Working out of the gun is McCarthy. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
A gain of 15.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. And they give the Jones off tackle. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for second down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Looking to throw. McCarthy setting up the screen here. Aaron Jones. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Fourth quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Primetime. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the fourth. Third down from the gun, McCarthy. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Vikings are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. McCarthy operating from the gun. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson.
Touchdown, Minnesota.
A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Vikings have made it a 1-score game again here in the fourth. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
The Vikings will line up for the 2-point conversion.
McCarthy going to look to throw for it. And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2. They don't get it. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Well, good-looking return set up here. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
Byron Murphy there on the tackle.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's second down and 5. They'll run again with Harris. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 40 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
First down. First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
Now a first down carry for Harris. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on first down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on, because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
From the 47, it's second and 5. Harris running straight ahead. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining.
First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10. They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
At the 28-yard line.
Ready, run!
They hand this off to Harris. And he will have a charge of first down, and that should be the one that gets him to the finish line. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And they'll indeed take a knee. So this one's over. It's in the win column for the LA Chargers. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody.